人が使ってるんですけど。
This footage comes from a mother who was home alone with only her baby in the house, and she explains that she spent trying to calm her infant who wouldn't stop crying.
Shay. Cheyenne. Cheyenne.
At around 10 at night, Angela woke up to her phone's notification that a person had been detected in the back patio. She immediately checked the security camera outside her house to see that maybe her husband was back from work, but instead she saw something terrifying. She saw a little girl inside, not only that the little girl slowly dissipated into thin air. According to Angela, the mother, her baby would continuously stare at something before bursting into tears, and she didn't find it strange at first, but after this incident Angela found it concerning. Angela made another video showing where the little girl had appeared, and this is what she said.
Okay, so this is the area, the door that it was like standing inside. We don't have anything or keep anything in this area because it's a walkway and it would be really awkward. And then this is where the security camera is. So when I looked at the footage, I expected to see a person. I didn't expect to see that though.
After that, she also tried to recreate the scene to make sure what she saw was true. Angela showing what it looks like if someone were to be standing at the door makes the footage creepier. While she is not sure if this was something paranormal, she says that this was what her child was looking at. She believes that this had been responsible for making her baby upset. And if Angela's body wasn't able to be seen as she demonstrates, then how does that thing just stands there completely motionless? What do you think it was? Let us know in the comments. Our next case comes from two security guards in Chimbas, Argentina, who are reviewing footage from their 360-degree security camera because something inexplicable happened the night before outside their building. The guards carefully examine footage from every angle the rotating camera captures, but initially nothing unusual stands out in any of the views until they reach a specific moment that stops them completely. The footage shows a woman standing alone in the street who lights something that immediately bursts into flames, and then without walking away or moving off screen, she simply vanishes as if she was never physically there, which leaves both guards completely baffled because the camera angle should have captured where she went but instead shows her disappearing into thin air.
Ajá. Se fue. Para que se veamos cuando sigamos. Para que vean de que no. Si alguien puede ver que se va, no se va. Ahí lo entramos.
Ahí se ve como una calavera.
What makes this even stranger is what the guards notice in the smoke left behind by the flames, because when they examine it closely and point it out to each other, the smoke appears to form the distinct image of a skull before dissipating, which they believe adds supernatural significance to what they witnessed. The knight pointed this out.
Mira, ahí se aparece como una calavera, ¿verdad?
Ahí.
The skull image in the smoke could be explained as pareidolia, where our brains recognize familiar patterns and random shapes, but the woman's complete disappearance from the camera's view without any logical exit point remains unexplained and continues to puzzle residents of Chimbas who have seen this footage. A woman appears, lights something on fire, vanishes completely, and leaves behind smoke shaped like a skull. What do you think happened in that street? Let us know in the comments. On February 6, 2025, a security camera on a quiet farm in El Salvador recorded something truly unsettling. Late at night, a strange humanoid silhouette appeared at the far end of the property. It slowly moved from left to right, almost gliding through the darkness. At the same moment, the farm dogs became extremely restless. They started barking loudly and aggressively, as if they sensed something dangerous that humans could not see. The figure did not make any sound and did not seem fully solid. It looked gray and shadowy, making it hard to tell what it really was. No people were supposed to be outside at that hour, and the area is usually calm and empty at night. The farmer later reviewed the footage and was shocked by what the camera had captured. Some believe it could be a ghost or a dark entity, while others think it might be something. What do you think it was? Our next case involves security footage from a playroom where a toddler was playing alone, and what the camera captures is a sequence of escalating paranormal activity. While the toddler plays, a hanging swing suddenly begins swinging back and forth on its own despite no breeze or movement that would explain why it started moving, and a football on chair begins rolling as if invisible hands pushed it, and the toddler doesn't seem to notice either. Then, without any warning, the almirah door violently flings open with enough force to slam against the child, and at that exact moment the hanging swing begins swinging with much more aggressive intensity. This didn't look like random movement. If we watch the swing carefully, we can see it started moving more and more aggressively. Thankfully, the child had already moved away, otherwise the swing could have seriously hit the toddler. Moments like this leave a disturbing question: was there something else there that we couldn't see? Why anyone wanted to hurt any toddler? Or was it just incidents? You are judged to decide. Let us know your thoughts on the comments. This footage was captured by a CCTV camera and shows a child lying in bed with his father, moments before something unsettling is caught on camera.
You're scary now. No, you're scary now. Yeah?
Scary friend. Scary friend.
At first, everything seems normal. The father and his son were resting. But after a few seconds, the child suddenly tells his father that there is a scary friend standing by the door. The father slowly turns his attention toward the doorway. However, the child continues to repeat that the scary friend is still there. According to the father, no one else was inside the house, only him and his son, making what happened next even more disturbing. In the footage, shortly after the child mentions, the hallway light suddenly turns on by itself. But that wasn't all. Later, when both the father and son leave the room, the camera captures something else, the bathroom door slowly closing on its own. The father only noticed this detail after reviewing the footage, and it left him deeply shaken. On November 6 of 2022, Troy Legault, who lives happily with his family and 3 dogs, captured something very unusual. They also said that the house was only built 10 years ago, so Troy doesn't think that it's old enough to be haunted. But what happens next makes Troy question what he says.
What is going on in my house when I'm not home?
Although not much info is given on this clip, it's still pretty weird. All that is known is that no one was home when this happened. Not only that, they say there have been other weird happenings in his home, from things moving on their own to lights turning on by themselves. Troy can't seem to explain this, and neither can we, and like every time, you are the one to decide what this paranormal or coincidence. This footage was captured by a CCTV camera when a man was returning to his room and suddenly heard something eerie and strangely familiar. He immediately stops, trying to figure out whether what he heard was real or just his imagination. When the footage is reviewed, a voice can clearly be heard saying, "I love you, Dad." But that's not the most disturbing part. The homeowner later revealed that just a few weeks earlier, they had lost their daughter and were still grieving her death. After hearing the audio, both parents were convinced that the voice captured on the CCTV sounded exactly like their daughter. This footage was captured inside a high school in El Paso. It was late at night, and the school was completely empty. But what happens next is disturbing. In the footage, tables and chairs can be seen moving on their own, not slowly, not subtly, but violently. Within seconds, the furniture begins to slide across the room, and one chair is even thrown through the air, as if pushed by an unseen force. Everything happens at once, no one else is present, and no clear explanation. Do you think something was there? Let us know in the comments. In Japan, a garment factory had been experiencing some seriously strange activity. In recent days, the factory had suffered multiple thefts, which is why CCTV cameras were installed throughout the building. However, instead of catching a thief, the surveillance cameras captured undeniable footage of something far more disturbing. When the factory owner saw the footage, she was shocked but not entirely surprised. In fact, she claimed she was glad. This is what happened first. One particular sewing machine suddenly begins working on its own, as if someone invisible is sitting there and using it. But then, things escalate.
噂はしてるんですけど、実際にはどういう現象なのかはわからないですけど。このマネキンも夜に急に動き出したら怖いよねとか、ふざけて服を着せたりもしてましたし、お気に入りでしたね。
A mannequin inside the office starts moving on its own. And just when it feels like it can't get any worse, this happens. A cart begins rolling across the floor completely by itself. What makes this even stranger is what the factory owner said afterward. She explained that the workers believe these events were caused by Ms. Tanaka. According to her, the sewing machine that activated on its own once belonged to Ms. Tanaka. The mannequin that moved was also her favorite. She loved dressing it up and playing with it during breaks. The owner believes that all of the strange occurrences were the work of Ms. Tanaka, who had passed away. Ms. Tanaka was deeply loved and is still greatly missed by her coworkers. Rather than being afraid, the owner said she felt happy as if Ms. Tanaka had returned one final time. In September 2019, CCTV footage from Deer Park CBS left many people questioning whether the place might be haunted, because what was captured on camera was far from normal. In the first part of the footage, a door suddenly swings open, as if someone has just entered the room, but no one is there. Moments later, things escalate. A locker can be seen violently rattling and shaking, as if someone is deliberately trying to force it open. The movement is aggressive and it doesn't stop there. Suddenly, the locker door flies open, and the items inside spill out onto the floor, just like when someone forcefully opens their locker in anger. Yet once again, no one is visible. So what do you think it was? Let us know in the comments.